Yo, YouTube, subscribe, rate, review. Subscribe, rate, review. Ask a question. I see all the comments. You got a question, you like something, you don't like something, leave a comment, ask a question. I will respond. Thanks for joining my YouTube page. Boom, have no fear, the I Am Rapaport Stereo Podcast is here. Biggity boom, have no fear, the I Am Rapaport Stereo Podcast is here on today's brand new banging I Am Rapaport Stereo Podcast. Kooky Kyrie, unfortunately, is out for the season. Kyrie Irving is done for the season. The disaster in Dallas continues. Plus, the NBA is tightening up. And Trump did what he's supposed to do. And I love it. All that and more on a hard-hitting, high-flying, fully disruptive I Am Rapaport Stereo Podcast coming up right now. Miles Jordan, a.k.a. the Bleach Brothers, a.k.a. the Dust Brothers. Start this puppy off with something real nice. Start this puppy up with something real loud. But most importantly, start this puppy off with something real funky. I Am Rapaport Stereo Podcast.
I Am Rapaport Podcast.
Boom, have no fear, the I Am Rapaport Stereo Podcast is here. Biggity boom, have no fear, the I Am Rapaport Stereo Podcast is in the place to be. Welcome to the Iron Dome of Disruption. Welcome to the Ziggity Zone of Disruption. My name is Michael Rapaport, a.k.a. the Inflamed Ashkenazi, a.k.a. the Disruptive Warrior, a.k.a. the Sultan of Sniff, a.k.a. the Gringo Mandingo, a.k.a. Mr. New York. I Am Rapaport Stereo Podcast coming live and direct from New York, Nueva Yorka. Hope everybody's feeling real nice. Hope everybody's feeling real safe, real sane. We are in March. We're here. Have no fear. The I Am Rapaport Stereo Podcast in March. Michael Rapaport's month of March, where I will be turning 55 years old. Can't believe it. Anyway, if you're watching me on YouTube, subscribe, rate, review. Subscribe, rate, review. If you're listening to the I Am Rapaport Stereo Podcast and you've never seen the I Am Rapaport Stereo Podcast, you can watch the I Am Rapaport Stereo Podcast on my YouTube page at Michael Rapaport, at Michael Rapaport. Make sure you subscribe, rate, review. Make sure you ask a question, leave a comment, leave a criticism. You like something? Say something. You don't like something? Say something. You want me to do something? Say something. We see all the comments. We see all the comments and we respond to most of them. I'm Rapaport Stereo Podcast in the place to be. Man, I don't even know where to start. And most of the time when I'm doing the I Am Rapaport Stereo Podcast, I know exactly where to start. I will start by saying, oh no, Canada. Unless you've been hiding under a rock from all things Michael Rapaport, all things Rapaport's actual reality, which by the way, if you listen to Rapaport's reality, continue listening to Rapaport's reality. If you've never heard my podcast with my wife, where me and my wife, Kibi, discuss all things reality TV, all things popular culture, and a lot of curated gems from the comings and goings in our relationship. We drop episodes like clockwork every single week. Rapaport's reality. Please check out Rapaport's reality. But for Michael Rapaport's reality, last week, I'm minding my business, not bothering anybody on a Friday, and I wake up to a tweet storm. Messages, tweets, DMs, this, that, and the third. That's some lunatic, some low-end, low-level lunatic in Parliament in Canada is trying to ban me, the Gringo Mandingo, trying to ban me, Michael Rapaport, trying to ban me, the Inflamed Ashkenazi, not from doing shows, from coming into the country of Canada. Can you believe that? Can you believe that? Trying to ban me from coming into Canada? Saying that I have a long history, some sort of criminal past, a long history of a criminal past, which I don't have. We know about the Lily Taylor stalking situation from the 90s. We know about that. Yeah, I've jumped a turnstile in my time. Never been caught. I have no outstanding warrants, no outstanding arrests. My driver's license is clean. I go through customs, I go through clear, TSA pre. And you're trying to say I have a criminal past? You're trying to say that me, Michael Rapaport, is Islamophobic, and I should not be allowed. I'm not even going to give this woman's name. Nobody knows this loser, so I don't even need to give her name. Saying I should not be allowed in the fantastic country of Canada. Canada is a great place. I've had nothing but good experiences in Canada. Of course, my brother, Dr. Rapaport, Professor Rapaport, he's got one of those degrees where you got to call him doctor. I refuse to call my brother doctor, but he has busted his ass. He is a dual citizen of the United States and Canada. And you want to try to ban me from coming into the great country of Canada? Try to do it now, because it might be the 51st state. Within the next 3 years, you play games. You're facing all sorts of housing crises. Housing is unaffordable. Anti-Semitic incidents have increased 670%. Everything is up. You got fentanyl this, fentanyl that. Violent crime is surging, and you're worried about the inflamed Ashkenazi? You're worried about the Gringo Mandingo from entering Canada? That's what you're worrying about? Don't you have bigger fish to fry? Oh, no, Canada. Oh, no, Canada. I will be entering Canada. Oh, yeah. And I will be entering Canada this week. I will be performing in Edmonton this week at the comic strip in Edmonton this week, this Thursday, March 6th, this Friday, March 7th, and Saturday, March 8th at the comic strip in Edmonton. You're worrying about me? I truly don't know where all this controversy comes from. I am not a controversial person. The only thing that I do that is controversial is say, I've said things like Dick Stain, Donald Trump. I've said all the curse words. But in general, I live my life pretty low key. I live my life under the radar. I avoid controversy. But I'll tell you something. I think it has something to do with the anti-Semitism, because I sniffed around, and a lot of my people on social media, they filled me in on this lunatic, this low-level lunatic in Canada. And apparently she adores all things terror-related. Apparently she apologizes for all things terror-related. But I could tell you one thing, lady. I could tell you one thing right now. The show will go the f*** on. The show must and always will go on. I'll be in Canada this weekend. I'll be in Canada all spring long. I'll be in Montreal. Okay, I'll be in some other place in Canada. And all tickets for all my shows are available at michaelrapaportcomedy.com. I don't take steps back from low-level parliament punks. We don't do that. Worry about the anti-Semitic incidents. Worry about the health care system. Worry about the violent crime. Worry about the prices of everything. Don't worry about me. I come with joy in my heart. I come with joy in my heart. I come to bring the joy. Like the great Kamala Harris and Tim Waltz said, Tampon Tim, they said they're bringing the joy. That's what I plan on bringing to Canada all spring. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And Heather McPherson, oops, I said her name. I have no racist, Islamophobic past. I have no Islamophobia, okay? The only thing I have a fear of is people, some people, trying to exterminate me or my people simply because we're Jews and or Zionists. But I call it like I see it. I call it like I see it. And maybe you should look me up, Heather McPherson. Oops, I said her name again. Maybe you should do a little research on me, on steps that I've taken backwards. I don't do that. We don't do that. We're like Aaron the Hawk Pryor in his prime, coming forward. Humming, coming at ya. Oh, yes. And you know I had to get ya. Anyway, I Am Rapaport Stereo Podcast is here. Make sure you subscribe, rate, review. Subscribe, rate, review, and leave a comment. Tell a friend to tell a friend about the I Am Rapaport Stereo Podcast. Anyway, I'm going to talk about the NBA. Kooky Kyrie Irving's out. Kooky Kyrie Irving, who has, the man is sick. Watching him play at times is like, you're just like, this guy's sick. I've discussed Kooky Kyrie. Talk about a guy who loves Palestine. This guy loves Palestine. Totally uninformed. But Kooky Kyrie, unfortunately, is out for the rest of the season, and I never want any athlete to be injured. But the Dallas Mavericks, it has just been one nightmare after another nightmare. And at what point do they just submit? Because right now they're without Anthony Davis. It was just announced that Kooky Kyrie Irving has a torn ACL. And it has just been their whole team is decimated, and they ain't making the playoffs. I bet you Anthony Davis sits out the rest of the season, and I know he's probably going, "What the fuck am I doing? Like, what have I done?" But the NBA in general is coming down to the stretch. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, also Canadian. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, also a Canadian. And the OKC Thunder, they are tightening up the ship. And Shai Gilgeous dropped 50 again. That's the fourth time this season that he's dropped 50 points. And they're healthy. They're young, inexperienced. They are a little bit inexperienced in the playoffs as a unit, and that counts. Trust me, that counts. It always counts. The Knicks, you got to go through the fire. You have to go through the fire. But Shai Gilgeous and them, they're looking tough. And he's got 300 more points than anyone else in the NBA this season. He's the MVP. Shai Gilgeous from Canada. Has there ever been another MVP from Canada? I don't know. This episode is chock full of references about Canada. Heather McPherson, you ain't the MVP. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, he's the real MVP of Canada. You're trying to bar me, Michael Rapaport, from coming into Canada? Did I mention I'll be in Canada? I'll be in Canada this weekend, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And you know who's joining me in Canada? The Young Shooter. If you didn't listen to the last I Am Rapaport Stereo podcast, the return of the Young Shooter is an iconic, fantastic, hilarious episode. But the Cavs are looking good. The Celtics are looking good. The Cavs came back to beat the Celtics the other night. They trailed them by 20 points. But the NBA is fantastic. The Knicks have looked a lot better. And the Knicks, listen, if this Mitchell Robinson can stay in the pocket, if this Mitchell Robinson can stay healthy, because now it's a battle of nutrition and attrition. Is it nutrition and attrition? It's a battle of attrition. It's not about what you eat, not nutrition, attrition. Is it a battle of attrition or nutrition? What is the word? Attrition? What? Attrition. Not nutrition or attrition, attrition. The Knicks are looking good. And shockingly, the Lakers are surging. Luka and LeBron and Luka, respectfully. They're the number 2 seed right now, which is crazy. And I know Luka is probably just going, ha, 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 Dallas. Not that he wants anybody to be hurt, but you dumped me in the middle of the season without any heads up, without any explanation. There still hasn't been an explanation. Now they're saying that Luka likes hookah, Luka, and beer. Crazy. Trying to do a smear campaign against the guy. He's looking pretty skinny now. Ain't he, Nico? Looking pretty skinny now, isn't he, Jason Kidd? Looking real good right now. You might have done this guy a favor. I'm sure he's probably going, yo, the sun is nice out here. They got good sushi all over the place in LA. Cold plunges. I'm chilling with LeBron. Probably going to get himself a sick crib in Bel Air. Hookah Luka, a.k.a. Bazooka Luka. Who's laughing now? Nico Collins or Nico, whatever the your name is. The Suns are coming apart, which I love it. I love it. KD, you're a great individual player, but everything around you is like a mess. You're like one of those video games where everything's falling and you're shooting, making jump shots, but you never fix what's around you. You never fix what's around. Great individual performer. You care, you don't care. You want things to work out. You don't things want to work out. But it's the traveling circus of Kevin Durant. It is now stopped in Phoenix. You should have went to Golden State. Should have went back to Golden State. Phoenix is falling apart at the seams. Shockingly, the Blazers, the Portland Trail Blazers, who no one mentions, they might sneak their way into the play-in. Shout out to my man Chauncey Billups, friend of the I Am Rapaport Stereo Podcast. Good guy. Good, solid, nice. I've always liked Chauncey. Done some things with Chauncey. Big Three with Chauncey. Broke bread with Chauncey. Of course, he's been on the I Am Rapaport Stereo Podcast. He's just good people. And the Pistons, the Detroit Pistons, Detroit basketball and the Detroit Pistons are surging. Cade Cunningham and the Pistons are coming at you. But you know I had to get you. The Nuggets, they need to get healthy. The Rockets, they're banged up. And like I said, the Celtics are still the Celtics, but without Drew Holiday, that's a hole that needs to be plugged. They need to plug that hole. No Diddy. And Joel Embiid, since the I Am Rapaport Stereo Podcast, they shut it down. And the Sixers are in tank mode. And I don't know how that's going to get fixed. Big threes do not work anymore. You're not the Miami Heat. That shit ain't going to work. Okay? Unless you're like Klay Thompson, Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, in their prime, with Draymond Green in their prime, that big three, when you're 30-something years old, that is done. The Pacers, the Bucks, the Heat, it's all happening. It's all happening in the NBA, and this is when the basketball gets good. This is when the defense starts to tighten up. This is when the big dogs separate themselves from the pack. The NBA is and always will be fantastic, despite all the crying, complaining that I do, despite all the crying, complaining that the players do, despite all of it. When the playoffs start, this is when it gets exciting, and we're almost there. Oscars came and went. I don't think anybody cares about the Oscars, which is crazy because as an actor, I care about the Oscars. Artists love to be acknowledged. Artists love to be rewarded. And there's no shame in the campaign game. There's no shame in the Oscar campaign game. You see all of the actors, as they should, they're promoting, pushing, selling, not just their films, but themselves as they should, as we all do. I mean, this is a form of promotion. Everything is a form of promotion, especially in 2025. Conan was a good host. The film Amelia Perez, which I liked. A lot of people think that movie sucked. I talked about the movie. When I saw Amelia Perez and I, hadn't heard about the controversy, which there's a lot of controversy on that movie. There's a lot of controversy on the movie from when it came out to the star of the film, the trans actress in the film has put up some tweets about George Floyd. She put up some tweets about Muslims in Palestine, and she's been sort of, cast aside. And this is a film that's all about inclusion, and the making of it was all about inclusion. And allegedly, the cast and the filmmakers and the producers, they shunned her. And but Zoe Saldana, she won Best Supporting Actress, but it was nominated for 13 Academy Awards. The record is 14 Academy Awards. And I'm not sure how many it wound up winning, but Zoe Saldana won. I think it won something for a song or something like that. But this movie has been just, I mean, controversies. It sucked. Controversies. It woke this. Controversies. This, that. Every single beat. It's been kind of the director. It came out that the director on Mexico, and they filmed the movie in France, and he talked about the language of Mexico and the country of Mexico, and then you got the lead actress who's Mexican. It's just been a mess, this film. But me personally, and I'm not a musical person, I can't watch Wicked, and I heard Wicked was incredible if you like those kinds of movies. No disrespect to Wicked, I can't even comment on it, but I'm just not a musical person. But maybe it was the night, maybe it was the mood. Me and my wife, again, without prompting, we watched Amelia Perez. We enjoyed it. I thought Selena Gomez was dope. I thought the lead actress was dope. I thought Zoe Saldana was dope. I thought some of the musical performances, the songs and all that stuff, they came out very. I liked it. I liked Amelia Perez. But holy, this thing has been just ravaged with controversy. Kieran Culkin, he won Best Supporting Actor. Adrian Brody, Best Actor. And then who won Best Actress? Oh, yes, the girl Mikey Madison from Anora. And Anora won everything else. And it's crazy because Mikey Madison, young, great actress. Adrian Brody, who I'm not sure if he's Jewish or he's not Jewish. He looks Jewish. I thought he was Jewish, but then I heard his mother wasn't Jewish, but his father is Jewish. He's Jewish, definitely. I mean, he plays Jews. If there's a Holocaust film, a Holocaust survivor, boom, Adrian Brody. I mean, and he's awesome. I like Adrian Brody. Always liked Adrian Brody. Summer of Sam, his work is always impeccable. Kieran Culkin, Jesse Eisenberg, all these films with Jewish themes, no one mentions the word Jewish. No one will say Jewish. No one will say Israel. No one will say Holocaust, but they will do all these projects in 2020. You can't say it. The reality is you can't say Jew, you can't say Holocaust and get an award. If you say Jew, you say Holocaust, you're cast aside. But you can do movies with Jewish themes and Holocaust themes. You just can't mention it when you're up there getting awards and or doing press for your Jewish and or Holocaust themed films, if that makes sense. I know it's crazy, but it's real. And I get it. It's a scary time. They're casting people. They're sending them off to an island. I don't know where that island is. Louis C.K. Island, Al Franken Island, Harvey Weinstein Island. They are sending you off. And they're just trying to do every single thing they possibly can to make people scared. And artists, singers, musicians, and all that stuff, buckle down. Buckle down and stick together. We're all not going to feel the same way about everything. We all shouldn't feel the same way about everything. It's okay to agree to disagree. People in the arts, musicians, everybody in film, television business, it is okay to not be on the same page about things. At very best, we should listen, agree, to strongly disagree. It's okay to agree to strongly disagree. It's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But how can we expect us all to see things and agree on things? I think it would be fantastic within my business, within show business, if we come together and listen and hear from each other, as opposed to, oh, he voted for this person. Oh, he doesn't like these people. Didn't support this person. Because I know my business, just like every other business, but all I know is my business. My business is filled with deviance. It's filled with sexual deviance. It's filled with drug addicts. It's filled with people who go through drug problems and it gets scraped away, go to rehabs, do all kinds of things to their body. We are all very different in show business, and it's good. Just like in any other business, whether you're a dentist, a lawyer, whatever, you should be very different. But the fact that artists, are being forced into these boxes, and if you say something and it ain't the right thing, they will, you'll be done. I don't know who you are. They'll, unless you're Mel Gibson. Unless you're Mel Gibson. Mel Gibson, because it's all about the money. It's all about the Benjamins, baby. But I really wish, especially in my little community of artists, that they wouldn't do that. But they're doing it more than ever. And I would say it's more frightening than ever to just not stand with the pack or believe the exact same things as the pack. And unfortunately, that turns into some cool kids bullying, mean boys, mean girls, gang club. And that's not good. It really is not good. And it's nothing to be proud of. It's nothing to be proud of. But unfortunately, another award season, an entire award season went by and not one person said free the hostages. Not one person said anything about the rape. Not one person said anything about anything that's happened in over 500 days so far at the hands of the terrorists in Gaza, at the hands of the terrorists worldwide. I don't understand that. I don't understand that. Especially from a community that presents itself as so compassionate, caring, loving, thoughtful, and mindful of people that are suffering. Crazy to me. I'm conflicted about it, to be totally honest with you. I'm conflicted about it. I have conflicting feelings about it. Internally, it's conflicting to me. And I'm being totally real and totally genuine. I am conflicted about it. Makes me feel ashamed in a way and embarrassed in a way. And I love what I do so much. I love acting. I love doing my thing. I love the opportunities that it's afforded me. I love the lifestyle that it's afforded me. I love the feeling that I get from going and working, whether it's doing comedy, whether it's doing a movie, doing TV, whatever. I'm very well aware of the sort of magic and the opportunity and the rare opportunity that I have. But seeing the way things have played out and this whole cancel culture and this whole cancellation and casting people aside, it's embarrassing to me. It's embarrassing to me. And I know as a community of artists, as a community of showbiz, we can do better. We should do better. We should force ourselves to do better. We should force ourselves to sit down and have conversations with people that we don't agree with, don't think alike with, instead of just like pissing them off to the side, unless you're Mel Gibson. What else is going on? Trump, in my opinion, he's been doing good. I've been reading, talking, asking questions. You should read Eli Lake's new piece in the Free Press. Speaking of the Free Press, in regards to my Canada thing, I had a little doozy in the Free Press. And I wanted to call it No Canada. Oh, no Canada. But cooler heads prevailed. Trump, who had a blow up with Zelensky, which I'm really trying to learn about Ukraine and all that stuff. And I can't form a true blue opinion about it yet. But I have spoken to the official world news correspondent, Eli Lake. And like I said, you should follow Eli Lake. Eli Lake's got a new podcast. It's dope. I've spoken to, him about it. And ask him questions. He's written a piece on it. It's complex, but that dust up in the White House last week was not good for anybody. But when I went through the videotape, like the late, great Warner Wolf used to say on, I believe it was CBS, Warner Wolf, great newscaster. Let's go to the videotape. Trump and Junkyard JD, they were trying to basically tell him like, yo, we're going to do this in the back room, Duke. Check it out. Watch it. they kept kind of saying like, okay, not here. Anyway, Trump, and I said last year around this time, I said, voting for Pig Dick Donald Trump is on the table. I said that. And people went nuts. I said, voting for Pig Dick Donald Trump is on the table. And the reason why I said voting for Pig Dick Donald Trump is on the table is exactly what he's been doing regarding Israel. Exactly what he's been doing right now and what wasn't being done regarding anti-Jewishness in this country. And this morning, all federal funding will stop per Trump for any college, any school or university that allows illegal protest. And I say, good. I say, fantastic. I say, what the took you so long? Why wasn't this done years ago? It should have been before October 7th. But when it was going down and continues to go down, did you see what happened at Barnard College last week? It was like an episode of Girls, the Lena Dunham show. Shout out to Lena Dunham. It was like an episode of Girls. It was like white girls gone crazy at Barnard College. It was literally like white girls gone crazy. There wasn't nobody in there with it. They were white, like me, white girls in there cosplaying. Talk about cultural appropriation, dressed up with their keffiyeh scarves, screaming and yelling, no Zionist this, pro-Palestine this, Hamas this, that, and the third, Jenin, the West Bank this, and these crazy, kooky white lunatics, these white girls gone crazy at Barnard College, they literally, I saw with my own eyes, they had a grocery bag full of Trader Joe's that they were shoving into the window to get. What did you think? You guys think we're gonna be here? We might be here for weeks. We need to go to Trader Joe's. We need beef jerky. For those of you that aren't a vegetarian, we need some fruit, dried fruits, maybe some chocolates for caffeine, and some energy drinks. Because we're gonna be here for weeks. You clowns. You clowns. Trump said agitators like the lunatics at Barnard, like the lunatics at UCLA, no Zionist free zones. Get the out of here. Agitators, Columbia University, will be imprisoned. Good. Let's see who's really about that life now. They will be imprisoned permanently. They will be imprisoned or permanently sent back to their country from which they came. American students will be permanently expelled depending on the crime or arrested. No masks. Show your face. No masks. Thank you for this. Thank you for your attention in this matter. And I say, Trump, thank you for your attention for this matter. And I don't care what anybody says about me. I don't care. Oh, you're MAGA? No, I'm not MAGA. I'm pro-Jewish. I'm pro-Zionist. I'm pro-Israel. I'm pro-decency. I am pro-decency. It wouldn't be allowed on any college campus. I don't care if it was people that didn't like short people, fat people, people with freckles, people that run fast, people that run slow, A students on D students. This would never be allowed. Black people, LGBT. This is an LGBTQ free zone. That wouldn't be allowed for 15 minutes in any city, any school. But this is an LGBTQ free zone. This is a trans-free zone. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine anywhere? I don't care where you are. I don't care if you're at the supermarket, Target, CVS, right? Imagine trying to stand somewhere and say, this is an LGBTQ free zone. It would not be allowed. It would never be allowed. And it would only, this made up Zionist free zone. Get the out of here. Now you around and you're going to really find out. I hope they arrest these little at Barnard College. And I'll tell you something. If you're in the United States on a visa, a college visa, visiting, and you act up, you got some big balls. You're here on a visa, You ain't you're not a citizen. You're a visitor. You're a visitor. You're here visiting this country. I don't care if you're here for school, however the you got here. And this is the home of the free. This, that, and the third, and everybody's welcome here. But if you're in America, unfortunately, you don't have the same rights that everybody else has. You're not going to get on a college campus and try to intimidate people and say who's allowed, where, when, and why. How dare you? Let me tell you something. When I go to another country, I've said this before, I read the rule book. I ask questions. I was in Thailand. They say, yo, don't insult the king. Who's the king? It don't matter. Don't say anything about him. Don't mention the king. Don't mention the Sacramento Kings, the LA Kings, the king of comedy, the king from Queens, Run DMC. Don't say the word. Just don't say king. That's what my friend told me. He said, don't fuck around. You're in Thailand. Don't fuck around. Don't say anything about the kings or king. Don't chew gum. Don't spit. When I'm in Israel, I don't know if there's a rule about spitting in Israel. I don't spit in Israel. I spit everywhere. I spit everywhere. But you're in another country. Forget another country. You're in the United States on a college visa, and you think you got the nerve and the audacity to protest with a mask on and say certain people can't come and go as they please on a college campus that you're here on a college visa for? Get out of here, man. Anyway, I'm done. Came, saw, disrupted. Kickity came, saw, disrupted. I Am Rapaport Stereo Podcast. Make sure you tell a friend to tell a friend about the world's most disruptive podcast, the I Am Rapaport Stereo Podcast. Miles Jordan, a.k.a. the Bleach Brothers, a.k.a. the Dust Brothers. Take me at it with something real nice. Take me at it with something real loud. But most importantly, end this puppy with something real funky. I Am Rapaport Stereo Podcast. I'm out.
I am Rapaport Podcast.